5 mind-blowing techniques for unstoppable confidence. Now, if this is something that you'd like to learn, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about here in this video. This is Dr. Gopika Kumar, your communication and mindset coach. Let's get started with this right here. Mindset is something that we are always struggling with time and again, right? And this is exactly where we get stuck up, where we are not being able to feel confident as much as we may want to. And we all struggle with it. It's not that it could be your story or my story. It's actually what everybody goes through on a day-to-day basis. Now here I'm going to talk about some wonderful techniques and ideas which can actually turn around the things for you as well. The first and the most important one, which is to practice what I call as self-acceptance, self-awareness. I am as human and my emotions are as human as anybody else's. I may not be able to spell it out and highlight my weaknesses at all times, but I am as human and I could be making mistakes. Self-acceptance and self-awareness says that I'm going to first be compassionate, super kind to myself, that I am going to set myself on this journey, but I'm also going to allow myself to not be harsh. And I refer to this as a state of self-talk. So speak to yourself and tell yourself on a regular to regular basis, which is that I'm going to make sure that I make myself proud, not because I'm not making mistakes or I should not be making mistakes, but because I am becoming one better version of myself every single day. The second most important thing to really tell yourself on a day-to-day basis, which is, am I having my goal setting done clearly? Do I know where is it that I'd like to reach? Am I putting myself on a timeline? Am I looking at it as a quarterly, as a 6-month, as a yearly goal plan, as a 3 to 5 year goal plan? The more you're able to personally set yourself targets, the more you're always inclined and you're getting up, straight out of your bed, thinking about them, wanting to move into that direction. And when you're moving with that vigor, with that energy that I want to achieve what I'm envisioning for myself because I have goals, not because I want to break them, but because I want to achieve them, you have a goal plan with you. And this is something that all of us would have really heard as a short-term and a long-term goal. And it's important for us to do this on a day-to-day basis because this is what actually instills in me the confidence, the mind state that I'm moving in the right direction. That is the second area to see, which is visualization and your goal setting. The third most important idea to really instill that, that unstoppable confidence into your life is a positive self-talk. Now, I get personally intimidated looking at people who could be achieving a lot more that I would like to achieve for myself. Now, there are two sides of looking at it, isn't it? One way is that I get intimidated and I say that I will never be able to achieve that state. So I don't know, whether I should even try and make that move. And the other is that I take up that plunge as an inspiration and I see that I could be setting milestones for myself. Can I do a positive self-talk? Because we are all surrounded with numberless leaders, speakers, role models, influencers in our own respective industry. And we could be a dentist, we could be a lawyer, we could be a coach, we could be a businessman. We are all having to do positive self-talk because we do constantly get, be seen with people who are actually achieving a lot more. But our mind stayed at that point in time where we do the self-talk to tell ourselves that I can only achieve what they're doing in their life today if I start with the first move today. rather than thinking about whether I'll be able to do it or not, is a very third important, the mind state that we need to ingrain to cultivate that confidence, to cultivate through that self-talk that I'm going to be doing on a regular basis. The fourth in this entire process of cultivating that unstoppable confidence for myself is my body language. And the most immediate task that we can all do is to keep our spine straight, is to keep with our chin, always moving, not downward and looking at our mobile phones all the time, but, in the direction that I'm speaking eye to eye, making that eye contact with the person that I'm speaking to, maintaining those facial expressions where every muscle on my face is actually moving, where I'm able to create that vibe with my smile that I want to attract what I want to manifest in my life. Am I being able to do that with my body language? And the hacks are simple. All we really need to do is to become a little more conscious about how we are taking our body language physiologically to project our confidence. And the fifth, which is the most important, to always stay on track, that I want to cultivate that mind state, Gopika, where I can have unstoppable confidence, is always continuously keep learning, keep growing. But how? I have so much of work in my hand. I don't think I'll be able to do it. But here is something that I would like to share with you all. I have actually so far been a constant learner in my life. I did my school, my 10th, my 12th, my graduation, my post-graduation. I appeared for a master's in philosophy twice, but I was not able to clear the exam. But the urge was so high that even after 7 years, I tried to get myself enrolled into doing a doctorate, a PhD. Spent 7 years doing the same and constantly learning from programs around me. And not for a moment I remember, at least over the last 20 plus years that I have been working, that it has ever deterred me that my learning is going to pull me away from working in the industry as well. In fact, that's exactly what fills me up with my dose of confidence every single morning. My morning walk would start with, listening to an interesting podcast, which adds that fuel to my learning journey. While I'm driving to work, I could be listening to something which is there on Audible, as simple as that. It could be an audio book, and I don't have to finish an audio book all in one single go. I could be listening to it in, bits and pieces. And I'm learning. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly learning with my colleagues, with my peers, with my, my people in my industry who could be doing similar work. I could be taking up my space and time during the weekends to read, what I would love to read, and I love to read from a physical book. I'm constantly putting myself into that phase where I want to learn. And I can assure you of this, that every time I learn something new, it fills my life with the state of unstoppable confidence. So think about it. If you would like to achieve that unstoppable state of confidence, how would you like to do it for yourself? You could pick out any one of these or do all of these. What is important is that we make that first stint. So start with this entire, journey of your growth, and I would love to share, see your comments as well, below in this description box. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that so far, and share it with anybody who would really like to hear these confidence hacks at this moment. This is Dr. Gopika Kumar signing off.